In this video, I want to discover what you think wealth is. What's your definition of wealth? Is it that? Or is it that? Or could it be something more internal? Hi, it's Naomi Sesay here, doing something different. So in this video, I want to understand what is meant by wealth, because by understanding what is meant by wealth, it's more likely that you'll be able to acquire it, obtain it, and keep it. If you think wealth is just having lots of everything, or having loads of money, or wealth is just a fiat currency like this bundle here, then wealth may just elude you. Okay, so years back when I was starting on my wealth creation journey, I had a mentor and I asked her what did wealth mean to her. And she categorically said that wealth meant enough. And I was a bit puzzled by this. And she went on to explain that when she got her first £1 million, it really didn't mean anything because there was still rubbish on the TV, the kids still drove her crazy, the food was still crap, and the traffic was still the same. So having £1 million didn't really mean anything in her life. But then as she started to mature in her wealth creation, she realized that being happy, having enough kids, enough money, enough food, enough cars, enough of all the things that you wanted was what wealth meant to her. Having enough. Well, for me, wealth means more than just having enough. Because if I'm able to create wealth and I'm able to fill my cup with wealth, then the excess will spill over that cup, right? And that means I can give it to anyone I like. I can help whoever I like. I can create a community of people who are wealth creators where we all give out to others who have not. So wealth means more than enough for me as I've matured in my own wealth creation endeavors. So I want to talk about the frequencies of wealth and how do you lock into it? Because what I've understood is that a lot of times wealth eludes people because they're not clicking in to the frequency of their type of wealth because you don't understand or haven't defined what wealth means to you. Now, wealth not only just means enough for me, wealth also means having enough love, enough respect for myself, enough power to move forward, enough focus, enough compassion, enough empathy, enough of the things that make me happy. But so much so, overflowing so much flow that I make other people happy. I give more compassion and empathy to other people. I give love. So I want to be overflowing with the abundance of wealth. Now, when we talk about fiat currency like this, which is paper currency, wealth for me isn't paper because paper is an energy. And it's, after all, it does grow on trees. It's energy, it's paper. But in and of itself, it has no value. It has no intrinsic value. It only has a value that we give it. And that's the reason why all the fiat currencies in the world are so different, because it has an intrinsic value that is actually pegged on a value on that economy, GDP at that time. However, this type of wealth, which is actually gold, has more of a value. And this is the reason why this is not as good as this. ago, we know that the fiat currency was pegged on gold because gold was steady. And that meant that everybody's currencies not only was pegged on this, but it tempered all the ups and downs in the economy. And so people were buying lots of gold and they were keeping them as an investment, holding it as an investment. But for some reason, fiat currency got taken off the gold standard in the United States and Europe. And that meant that there was a big disparity between rich and poor. And it got wider and wider because people could no longer hold on to this. They had to sell it in order to get this. But this has no real value. And this is why when we talk about wealth, it can't be about money. It can't be about a currency that fluctuates so much that in the end, it could be worth much less than when you first had it, when you first put it inside your bank account. Let's take an example of the economy right now. We know that the economy right now is in a big turmoil because of COVID-19. And because governments are pushing in loads of money into the economy, guess what? This is worth less than it was last year. But this holds steady. This is an investment. So when you think about building your wealth, think about investments. Think about what holds steady and put that into your portfolio. Fiat currency can never hold steady because it fluctuates way too wildly for it to actually be any kind of investment. But there's also another type of wealth, and that is spiritual wealth. How much do you know about your own body and communication that's connected to a universe that is abundant with wealth? If you can figure out how you can connect yourself to that abundance of wealth, then you'll be able to figure out what wealth means to you. There are several ways of literally connecting you and your body to a bigger source of wealth. I have done a video on the information that rides on our energy field, which contains your wealth portal, which contains your portal of happiness, which contains the way that you can live your life, because we have so much information that's riding around on our energy field. But there are particular frequencies that you can start to practice and to garner and to create into a very strong frequency that is attached to wealth, attached to your own particular type of wealth. And I will do another video on that. But right now, what I'd like you to do is just comment below. Just right now, comment below and tell me, what does wealth mean to you? What does it mean to you? And how do you know you're going to get that type of wealth in your lifetime? One thing I know for sure is that your particular type of wealth has to be very bespoke to you. Because if you follow anybody else's way of creating their wealth, like some people love creating wealth through properties, some people like doing it on stocks and shares, some people like creating a business, some people like to buy land, so on and so forth, or create passive income. But you need to find out what your particular wealth flow is. And everybody has a particular wealth flow. And you know that you're falling into this particular wealth flow because you get so passionate and you get so excited by it. Your body will tell you. So we've got to do something different. And that thing that is different has to do with you, has to do with your internal information, has to do with your frequencies and your vibrations that allow you to tap into that wealth center and to bring that wealth center in. Yes, you could say it's got something to do with manifestation, but not really. It's got something to do with something that's really, really concrete. And it's concrete that you can feel it in your body and you know that you're on the right track. So subscribe right now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of the videos on wealth creation. And comment below. Tell me how you create wealth. Tell me what wealth means to you. See you soon.